Garcia, and I'm the Senior Director of Technology Service Operations. We're in the prepaid debit card financial industry. The most valuable features we're taking advantage of today is computer memory disk monitoring and the alerting on it. So we're able to predict how close we're approaching our thresholds so we can head off a disaster, right? We can troubleshoot it before it becomes a big problem. So we have the solution across all the production servers in our operation. We have seen over the last 4 or 5 years about a 30% decrease in escalations in crisis management, less severity events, because we are trending and tracking against thresholds, so we get early warning alerts, and our goal is to trigger solutions and escalation resolution before it becomes a critical event. We haven't had any issues with downtime with the solution at all. We do have at times the robots, which are probes that log on the server. Sometimes they'll hang or fall offline, and we generally have an auto restart if that happens. Most of the time we find out we caused it ourselves because somebody was performing maintenance. We've been able to scale it across 20 platforms in 3 different data centers. Doesn't mean it's simple, right? But once you've got your thresholds down and your methodology, your strategy of what you want to monitor, and it works pretty well. We've used technical support before, especially when we first loaded our server and installed our design. Very responsive, stuck with us on the phone until we resolved our issues, and at some points, had to come back a few days later with a solution or a patch to fix us. Yeah, I think the initial setup was pretty straightforward. It was more complex than we thought, but it wasn't insurmountable. And the biggest challenge we had was we didn't understand how our applications ran or how our hardware was responding to our applications. So we set the thresholds pretty low, generated a lot of alerts, and then had to adjust. That's probably the biggest challenge we had going into the project. One of the things we'd like to see is a more streamlined and baseline reporting mechanism. So we use several CA products, and we'd like to see all of the products dump information into a common format so that we can harvest it into multiple dashboards. Right now, if you use multiple applications, you need 3 different experts on 3 different reporting structures. So we'd like to see them come with a unified, database, an ability to harvest that data. Drivers for the business were, we were having system outages or server outages or connectivity outages with the network, and we weren't able to see it, right? The tools we had in place weren't robust enough and weren't flexible enough for us to design thresholds and different levels of monitoring. So we started researching tools and we decided on UIM. We monitor SQL databases. We monitor, we have a lot of servers, Windows servers, we have Linux boxes, and we have network equipment. First and foremost, we're looking for a partner. We're not interested in a vendor-client relationship. We're not interested in just being a $ sign at the end of the quarter. We want somebody who's going to work to understand our business and understand what's unique about us. And I'm sure that's a common thread with many customers, but it's really important for us to have a partner relationship. The second thing is we want serviceability. So we want to be able to call a tech support or talk to a systems engineer and have them engage with us and work with us through a problem, not just throw us canned solutions and assume we're going to apply those and walk away. We chose CA primarily because of the size of the company, past relationships at other companies I've worked for. Also, we looked at vendors for many different products. I don't know that I really want to mention all the vendor names, but we chose CA because of the flexibility of the product and the supportability of the product. I'd rate it a 9. First of all, I don't know that I'd ever reach a 10 with any vendor, but a 9 because the solution works as advertised, right? The service is there. The responsiveness of the tech support is very, very pleasing. They come back to you when they schedule. They follow up on their commitments. We've had some challenges expanding our footprint in other data centers. Like I said earlier, it's not perfectly easy. It is complex, but once you get it dialed in, we're up and running and everything's smooth. And their service teams have been there with us all the way. So that's really important for us. I think focus on, have an understanding of what you want to measure and monitor in your environment, right? It's more than just saying, yeah, we're going to monitor all the servers. What thresholds? What do you expect your CPU utilization to be? What do you expect your memory utilization to be? What's important for you from a customer service responsiveness? Do you have a systems engineer who's willing to put the time in to understand your business before providing you a solution? Those things are really key for us.